Oh, hello. Hello? Can you hear me now? All right, there it goes. That was dumb. Okay, let me get rid of this. Thank you. Can you hear me now, Wookie? Okay, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know what happened. I guess my program didn't connect or something. I don't know. But what I was saying, now that I've been 6 minutes in, is I was watching Memology's 101. I was watching his videos of this and watching CNN, claiming that any military members who might be here, even though I think this is fucking ridiculous, if they didn't vote for Joe Biden, they should be outed and removed, and if not kicked out of the military, because how dare they be white and conservatives? You guys see that his little video where the guy was on CNN. He's like, there are a lot of white conservatives in the guard and on the media. I see it on social media, and it's crazy. I'd be afraid if, these people were protecting me. I'm like, "What?" In the military, you're trained to be professional at all times. They don't give two shits who they're supposed to they follow their orders. And right now, I'm like, "This is nuts." Like, 25,000 troops at the Capitol. What are you gonna do if people show up to protest? Are you gonna fire? You wouldn't do it when people are burning down cities, Democrats, in Portland and all across the country when they literally destroyed, Milwaukee, where they literally burned most of the city to the ground. It looks like a fucking war zone, but no, no, that's okay, that's fine. But when they how dare they go to the Capitol building? That's sacred ground. Yes, exactly, exactly, Wookie. Yeah, they're talking about, like, white conservatives like the Yazis did about the Jews. Yeah. See, I literally have seen it, well, when I was still on Twitter, where people were like, especially when that guy who got caught on CBS calling for any Trump supporters' kids to be rounded up and reprogrammed. Like, who talks about reprogramming? I have never suggested ever that somebody go and reprogram people. I think our educational system is programming people. I think they've been ever since fucking Bush did that whole stupid thing where he made government in charge of like all schools, and all schools had to follow one specific teaching. You know, he made sure that all schools had the same exact, taught lesson. That was a big fucking mistake because now the government can easily control the school systems. They go, hey, you're not teaching this anymore. You're teaching this, and you will teach it. And we're America, and we don't want to admit it, but we have the worst educational system probably in the world, besides like some third world countries. While Japan's killing everyone in the educational, department. But yeah, so he moves all these troops there, and then they're calling to have, they said that collectors always do, yeah. Yeah, I guess there was news that they removed like 12 or 13 active duty members because they were afraid that they called them right wing militia. I'm like, you mean they were on social media saying this is bullshit? Why are we fucking protecting this piece of shit? That's my guess. Government schools have been trashed since Carter. Oh yeah. 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 Um so pretty much they're worried, I literally was on Twitter where some dude was calling, how dare they go into our sacred Capitol building. I was like, I know I hate politicians. I hate all politicians, and I hate politics with a passion. I think it's all worthless. You can't stand around and talk all day and not do shit and not get anything done. I'm sorry, it's not fucking happening. That's why I kind of like Trump, because he wasn't just a talker. He actually did shit. But exactly. They had to cleanse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen that. Yeah, and they were calling the thing sacred. The terrorists, how dare they, an insurrectionist, and they're insurgents, and whatever. They went into a governmental building. They took a podium and they messed up some papers. They burned down the Capitol building. No? Oh my god, you mean they didn't set fire to the whole building? Did they destroy every neighborhood surrounding it? Did they go to small business owners, break in their windows, steal their shit, and burn down their buildings? No? What? It's crazy. But they're acting like this little out of hand protest, which, they were let in the fucking building. We all seen the videos where literally the cops were just like, all right, go on in, fucking do whatever you want. Yeah. But the fires in June, nah. Milwaukee being completely turned into a war zone, nah, who cares? Portland literally having people take over parts of the town and calling it their own little state. Nah, it's fine. It's fine, guys. That's not problem. But, let's call in 25,000. Remember when Trump said he was going to call in a National Guard for Portland, or he's going to call in a National Guard for Milwaukee, and they go, how dare you? How dare you? These people are fighting for the right to live. No, they're a bunch of fucking thugs. Came out to burn shit down because of some fucking bullshit story on the internet and on fucking the mainstream media. Lied about all kinds of shit, blew it out of proportion. Yeah, it's not a war zone when collectivists do it. Yeah, it's freaking nuts. And so, as you know, I served. Let's see. Oh crap! You should see a comment I got in my last video. It's not there anymore because I got reported. But damn, dude, the hateful little fairy. No, it's just nuts. I served, and we don't serve the government. We kind of do, but we're sworn to protect the Constitution and the people of America. That's our job. That's literally our job. Is to protect the will of the people and the Constitution of the United States. And it's funny, CNN tried to say that. He's like, these people are sworn to protect the Constitution. How dare they be conservative? How dare they have a political? I'm like, they can have a political opinion. They'll still obey their orders. They're going to stand there. They're going to do nothing because they took away all their fucking ammo, which it's pretty sad when you're the new president of the United States and you're afraid of your own military so much that you take away all their ammo, but you still station them out there like they're going to do something. If one of those guys is out there and when he's, troopers or National Guard, when these men in our uniform standing there right now get to see this video, just remember who you serve. If the people show up in mass and I demand an investigation into the anything. I think for 2 years we've had Democrats call that the last 2016 election was rigged by Russia, right? For 2 years we saw nothing but Russia, 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 Russia. Turns out it was nothing but a thing by give me a second, I gotta sorry about that. No, it was nothing. Somebody actually called me. Anyways, no, it's so I'm not saying that the troops should. I hope they don't like if they actually have ammo. I really hope they don't open fire on the people because you can't even imagine what that would be like if they just started massacring people in the streets. Oh, media would be like, "Oh, look, terrorists attack the Capitol, troops defend it." No, that would be really bad. Like these guys are just kids. Most of these guys are no older than 19, 20, 21, 22, and they're standing there going, "What the fuck is going to happen?" Because they don't know. They're like, we've been ordered here to stand here and guard a president I guess, who's so secure in his knowledge that people voted for him and that, it wasn't rigged, that he has to bring in the freaking the most The most secured inauguration in U.S. history. That's how unsecured this motherfucker is. I don't give a shit if YouTube hates this fucking video. You want to shut me up? I fought for my country. Good luck trying to explain that. I would love to get on the national news and be like, "Hey, YouTube decides that U.S. troopers, former veterans, can't speak on your platform because you don't like what we have to say." Try explaining that one away. I think it's only fair. Like, this shit looked dirty. It smelled fucking bad. Like, you don't show up at the 4 o'clock in the morning with suitcases of ballots without guard and no one to check who you are, and it's okay. Like, what world would that be okay? We treat our money more secure than our voting. Why don't they just get the banks to handle our freaking votes? Because they would have like armed guards, armed vehicles, armor-plated vehicles traveling in convoys to make sure our votes got securely put and then securely counted. It's not hard. People wonder why we question things. Because we're supposed to. We're America. We question our government. That's since the beginning of our fucking. Literally, we started out with our country is founded on people saying "fuck you" to their main government, their king. We say "fuck." Jesus Christ. BLM's going crazy in New York City. Well, I'm not surprised. But it's shit's stupid. I think, yeah, it would be unfair if they said, you know what? Let's actually look into stuff. Let's have the FBI come in and there's been what, 2, 3 arrests so far I've seen on the news of, government people being actually arrested. There's one female that was caught for, election fraud, but it doesn't happen. You're like, they had 2 years of like, "Hey, Russia, done this to us in 2016." We're like, "Okay." So you don't think big tech can't do it? Big tech's hated Trump. They've hated Trump, even though he makes them so much money. They hated not just Trump, they hated all of us, and they wanna control our government. If you don't think our government is not bought, paid for by the freaking techie fucking people, you're all nuts. Every side. I don't see politics as a line. I see politics as a circle. They're all the same. We are right here in the middle, down here at the middle, going, "What the fuck is going on?" From both sides. We're like, "You're both nuts." But they're both all bought. There's a couple in our there who aren't. There's like probably 2% of the people in Congress right now who aren't completely paid for. I don't s I've always said this, if they kept saying that they wanted to see Trump's taxes. They wanted to see Trump's taxes. They wanted to see where his money's coming from. I'm like, "Okay, fine." But what I wanna see more than Trump, I wanna see where every single one of people in Congress and in the Senate, I wanna see their banks, every single penny that they make. I wanna see where it comes from. Yeah, China makes them more money, yeah. These collectors don't understand that push comes to shove, most people in the military won't side with them. So this shit is a scare tactic to make us not trust them. Yeah, see, the American military sole purpose is to protect the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And which is funny because what side has been calling for the Constitution to be taken down? Not us. I'm not right or left. I'm more central. I think people on both sides are nuts right now. I think the Republican Party is no different than the Democratic Party. Just act like they're different, but they're really not. They're both bought and paid for. It's just like a show. They get on their little speeches and they go, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," but nothing ever happens, right? It never fucking happens. You know why it doesn't happen? Because they're both bought. The same people who buy the Democrats buy the Republicans. They just have them do this little, cat and mouse thing for show to make us go, "Huh? Yeah, well, yeah." But the whole point, the whole time, they're all going back to their fucking $1,000,000 mansions, smoking, whatever they're fucking smoking. Yeah, I used to be pretty conservative. I'm more conservative than I am libertarian, but I'm pretty, yeah, but I'm also like not sane. Like, I see both sides. I can see both arguments. So I'm more yeah, I guess I am more libertarian than I expected to be. I think as we grow older, because when I was young, I was straight conservative. I was hardcore conservative. But as I grow older, you grow wiser, and you start seeing more and more of each side. And especially in the military, military has a very conservative viewpoint, and they they hate it. That guy was on CNN saying that, "How dare our military, white, mostly white and conservative. How dare." You know what you mean? A bunch of people actually wanted to serve the country, sign their name, when nobody was forced to. Nobody goes, "You know what? There's not enough black people in the military." You know what I was surrounded by in the military? I joined the Marine Corps, went to San Diego. I was surrounded by, like, 100% almost Mexicans. Like, I was, like, one of 4 white guys. There was 2 black kids and, like, 20 freaking Mexicans. I didn't have a problem with that. My freaking drill instructor my senior drill instructor was a black dude, and my kill hat was a white guy, and my other drill instructor was a Mexican who probably could kill me and, was pinky. And these guys were, like, some of the greatest men I could ever ask for, and our senior drill instructor was cool as shit, and but Jesus Christ, you fear the shit out of those guys. But, the military is made up of all kinds, and none of us in the military see each other as black, white. We actually make fun of each other. Like, constantly, I was called Cracker Boy, and my team leader my last team leader in the military was, oh, man, he was I gotta say part Mexican. You had to be at least a little bit Mexican in him. He was a big old guy, and he'd make fun of me for being a cracker. I make fun of him for being Mexican. We would make stupid jokes at each other all the time. People would be like, "Oh my god, these people are fucking racist," and we're like laughing because we've been there. We literally were like in a mall just fucking with each other, and these people walk by and you're like, "Oh my god, did you hear what they were saying to each other? Oh my god, they're so racist." And we're like laughing. He's laughing because he's like, "Man, these people are so freaking idiots." I was like, "Yeah." We don't give 2 shits what we are on the outside because we all bleed red. Nothing. We don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. We are all there. We're all brothers. We're all gonna die and fight. None of us is above the other. Every single one of us, even if we didn't like each other, there's some guys in the Marine Corps I couldn't stand, and they couldn't stand me, and it was fine, but we still would have died for each other. If a bullet was coming at him, I would have pushed him out of the way and took it for him in a second, and they would have done the same for me. No matter what, we served each other. We protected each other, even if you know, at the end, he would have took a bullet from me, and he would have punched me in the nose for being such a dumbass, and I would have fucking probably took it like a man and be like, "Dude, fucking took a bullet." But yeah, see, that's life in the military. So seeing this is kind of sad because you know what I want to see? I want to see where all the money comes from. I think the FBI should make a whole new justice system where it's not just FBI. I think there should be one that literally 24/7, every single minute of every single day, they watch their bank accounts. Anybody in government should be completely under investigation at all times, where every single cent they ever make is constantly monitored and public knowledge. Where's a mug? Let me look. What is the thumbnail one? Is that it's if that's the one I'm thinking of, it's from my wife got it a long time ago at a Renaissance festival. I think up in New York State, not the city, but the state, like long time ago. But you know, I hate politicians. I really do. I hate the media. I met the media in the military. I watched them come overseas, and they were like, "We're gonna do interviews," and we're like, fuck off." And then we took fire, and I've never seen grown men cry like that and get on their sat phone so fast and demand to be home. It was like 5 minutes. We went on one patrol, took fire. We went back to base, and these guys were literally on their sat phones demanding their publishers get them out of there. It was great. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like grown ass man crying, like bawling with his little blue flat jacket. He's calling home, like, come on, get me out of here, man. This place is fucking nuts. And we're like, oh man, I wish we could call home and go home right now. Like it must be nice. Must be nice to be able to just call and be like, hey, man, get me out of here. We only have 6 more months of this shit. Whatever. But these guys gotta be friggin' they're pissed. Every one of these troopers are pissed. These guys over here, they're standing guard, they're fucking annoyed. The generals are probably really pissed because they're like, fucking, we have to waste our time doing this shit. They think it's a waste of time. I'll bet you 100% of the time, their commanders and this stuff are like, it's a waste of our time, waste of our effort. We should be home. People should be going to their jobs. Well, if their states let them go to job. And this is not the only place. I guess 24 states have activated their National Guard to their Capitol buildings. Let me guess what states those are going to be. I know Michigan's one. I know for a fact Michigan's one where they're protecting their shitty fucking governor up there. You know why? Because she knows that her time's over. When you tell people they can't work, you can't pay your bills, but hey, you're still going to pay your taxes. You better believe you're going to still pay your taxes this year. But government can decide who can work, who can't, because of a 98% survival rate. Fucking virus, please fuck off. I don't care if this is the Black Plague. People don't have the right. The government has no right to demand who can work and who can't. They don't. Constitution goes, no, no. People have the right to assemble. They have the right to a religion. So I don't know why they're shutting down churches. Period. There's separation of church and state. Anybody remember that? Government has no power over the church, and church has no power over the government. That's how it's supposed to be. Well, the government's been shutting down your religious freedoms. They shut down your businesses, and people are pissed. They have a whole year and still nothing. Nullification start decent. Yeah, we did. I know the military's sole purpose is to protect the people. That's their job. Make sure, especially right now, their job is to make sure government doesn't get too powerful. And right now, our government has gone insanely power. They've been like, I've never seen shit like this before, and that this is fucking scary. And then they're removing political opinions from troops. Like, if you are a conservative and you're at the inauguration, you're told to go home. They don't trust you because you might have voted a different way. What? You really think a trooper's gonna shoot you in the back? No, he's not, because he's a professional. At least the Marines, we were professional. Um, yeah, we like some presidents, we hate some presidents because the way they treat us in the military. And Obama was one of the worst military respected presidents ever. We hated him. 90, probably 95% of the military hated Obama because he constantly was making our lives harder and harder when we were fighting a war, and he was constantly doing stuff to make us pissed. He'd be like, "Hey, you fired all these rockets this time. Yeah, we're not gonna let you do that now. We're gonna take those away." Like, what? We're gonna restrict your ammo. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that because we don't want more. We don't want to. We want to calm things down or whatever fucking bullshit political hack is doing on the side. But they took away all their ammo because they were afraid that there might be some inside the military who would start a coup against the. I'm like, if you are this paranoid by you not winning, because okay, I'm sorry, but if you're confident you won fair and square, this shit wouldn't happen. It wouldn't. There would be no need for any of this. You'd be like, hey, we voted, we won. 50%, more than 50% of the country said yes to me. So there's no reason for me to need security because, maybe a small, tiny group of people went to the Capitol and walked in and messed up the place. That's all they did. They took a podium. Oh my god! They treat like they literally are treating this like they went in, planted bombs, blew up the Capitol, threatened online to blow up every Capitol building in America. If they did that, I'd be like, whoa, whoa, yes, they need to be shut down. But they're not. They went into a building and messed it up. There's like paperwork on the floor, and they took a podium and a couple other stupid things. And it was mostly, and if you believe the truth of what's going on, they kept finding people who were Antifa mixed in with the Trump supporters, disguised as Trump supporters, because they found pictures of them at BLM and Antifa rallies in Antifa gear. So I'm just saying, I think this whole thing is a setup. I think this is another way for the government. I think Antifa and all of it is all, call me a conspiracy theorist, is all in the same government paycheck. I think it's all the deep state paid by these big tech to protect their interests. And no better way to protect your interest than causing divide. Yep, they're all paid protesters. Yeah, yeah. I remember 2016. You remember when, like, right after the election, and all these people were coming out that they weren't getting paid. They were pissed. They were demanding that these companies pay them because they went out and, looted and destroyed stuff, and they were supposed to get paid. And they didn't see their paychecks. And you find out these companies that promised their paychecks didn't really exist, but they were somehow delivering, you know, loads and loads of bricks at corners of streets that these protests were going to appear at. Like, you just see like random freaking piles of bricks that here, like some like construction company came in and just dropped off bricks and then left. This is it's nuts. Like, it's all the same. They're all the same people. This whole thing is just one giant play to get us to shut up, sit down, and not question things. And I'm sorry, we live in America. We question our government. It's one of our founding principles is we don't trust government. We've never have since the beginning. That's why the Constitution was created so that government didn't get too powerful. Fortunately, nowadays people are too scared of fucking sickness to do anything. To you know, they go and they attack each other because of masks and fucking bullshit. And then they won't leave their houses. Well, the government goes, okay, well, now that the people are too afraid to leave their houses, let's start doing this. Let's start doing this, and let's start doing this, and they'll just accept it. And we have, but unfortunately, that shit's about to blow up in their face because America is a giant sleeping giant. We are fucking we. If, if people don't remember 9/11, after that fucking woke America up, unfortunately, they went right back to sleep. A couple of years later, they all went back in their little holes. But I think the next awakening, where the American people really see what's going on, I think it's going to happen. Fail, and that's why the nullification is important. Uh, Maybe I don't know. I think the American people are going to wake up soon. I think something's going to come out. Something really is going to come out where it exposes something major, and American people are going to they're going to finally go. You know what? Fuck the media. They're finally gonna not trust the media. The media is fucking the worst because they're all bought out. Big tech owns them. It's like they own our politicians. And whatever story they come out is to make sure that their interests are always seen to first. Not the people, but the people in charge on both sides. And why people can't see that, I don't understand. But so I think it's gonna happen. I think one of the major media companies is gonna get exposed, especially next couple of years because they've been anti-Trump for so long that now they're gonna have to be pro Joe, and it's gonna be insane. They're gonna go above and beyond to try to protect the man, and it's gonna something's gonna happen, and people are gonna like, what the fuck, and it's gonna waken up America, and Sorry, your federal government, but you're about to get rocked because the military isn't going to protect you from the people. We're not. We're not here to protect you from the people. Our job is to protect the people from you and the Constitution. And that's all we give a shit about. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just I hate this is why I hate politicians and politics because I just want to sit in my little I'm so glad I live in Missouri because our governor, he's been fighting big tech since he got in the government. He's actually one of the ones calling out big tech. Uh, it's Hawley, yeah, Hawley, Governor Hawley, and he's not the greatest. Sometimes he screws up, sometimes he doesn't, but he's been calling out big tech from the beginning, and we're not locked down like most of the country. I could go anywhere in my town. I don't have to wear a mask unless some small businesses have a sign saying, "Please wear a mask." We know you don't have to, but please, for safety and for respect us, please wear a mask. I have no problem wearing a mask for those guys because I'm like, okay, you know what? They're a small business. They're not demanding, and they're asking. So yeah, I'll put on my little freaking. I got like a neck gaiter that I'll fucking put over my face, which doesn't do anything, but whatever. And those places I'll wear a mask, but like Walmart, where it's like you will wear a mask. I fucking walk in there with no mask, and they don't say shit because they know in our area there is no mask mandate. There was for like a month, and then people told our mayor to go fuck himself, and he's like, "Okay, I'm pulling the mask mandate." And our gyms are open. Every restaurant is open. You could go in and sit down in a restaurant and eat everywhere in my town. The little restaurant that's right down the block from me, who's probably the best restaurant in my little town, has never been closed because the mayor who's actually in charge of our town, because the way I live, we live in the Joplin area, Missouri. They got Joplin, which is like a decent sized city. Not really a city. It's like huge, small city. I don't know what to call it. And then you got Webb City, which isn't a city at all. It's a town. Carl Junction, and there's a couple other smaller towns all kind of around it. So we're all like one massive little. It's weird. And Joplin had a mandate for a little while, and then it stopped. Carl Junction was like, "No, we ain't doing that shit." Missouri, Minnesota is a frozen. I'm sorry, man. I really, yeah, that sucks. That does suck. Yeah, no, it's just I watch people, especially in California, Gary and all those guys have their whole businesses shut down. His wife lost her company, and everything, and that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, but no government has the right to demand that you close until you can't afford to stay open. That shit needs to stop. You don't have the right to close businesses. No, what they're doing, especially when it comes to restaurants, is the government was making the health inspectors. What they were doing is demanding health inspectors go in, claim that your business isn't health enough, isn't clean, isn't safe, and they could close you for that reason. If they did that here in Carl Junction, where I live, if they came in and said, "There's a little restaurant down here," if they came here, demanded he shut his place down, our entire town would tar and feather him. I'm not even kidding. Like that little restaurant, because there's 3 restaurants in our town. There's a little Chinese place you can order. There's a Pizza Hut. Actually, there's 4. There's the little tiny Pizza Hut delivery place, and then you can't even sit in there. It's too small. And then you have a little Mexican restaurant just started. Just a little one, and they're pretty good. They're really good actually. And then you have another little burger place, and that burger place has been around for freaking since our town has started. And that little burger place is like the place where everyone in our town goes to eat. Like, we just go in there, they have great burgers, they're great everything, and we love it. I'm not gonna claim it because I don't want people to go attack them on social media. But we go there. That's like our town like thing. The dude gives out free ice cream to kids on certain days. Like the bus will pull up because he's a bus driver too. So he'll pull up his bus, and all the kids on his bus get free ice cream on certain days of the week. Like this dude is like, you know, he's just like a town like dude. Like with small towns, you have certain people who are just, the towns, people respect him, and he's a great guy. He's actually my neighbor. He lives right down the block, not even a block away from me. And I constantly see him. We're constantly saying hi. I love to go in there, have a cup of coffee, get my little girl some ice cream there every once in a while. But if they shut that place down, our entire town would tar and feather anyone who messes with that guy's business. Why? Because respect the man. The man's always been respectful of us. He's never demanded us of anything. He's never thrown anybody out of his restaurant. Dude's a great guy. And yeah, so I don't understand how these big cities, especially like smaller neighborhoods of these big cities, are like shutting all these businesses down. You think that the whole neighborhood would go on freaking a rampage if you removed their favorite place. I don't understand it. I don't understand how they're so they just I would like a lot of these companies. You saw that gym. Where was that in like freaking? I can't remember that one gym that the state was like fining him like 15 grand a day to stay open. Like what the fuck? But he refused to close because it said, we keep our gym we keep it clean, we keep it, people are safe, every equipment's wiped down. See, that's the thing we do at our gyms. Yeah, New Jersey, yeah. New Jersey's when has New Jersey ever listened to federal government, Come on, Jersey people. Oh my gosh. But you know, in our gyms, I could go to a gym. I can go to any of the gyms around here, even the Y is open, except for the pool. They won't open the pool section, which I don't know if that has anything with COVID or not. I don't know. But in the gym, you go on a machine. There's a sign that says, "Please wipe down machines when you're done," and everybody respects that. They're like, "Okay, I'll do my machine. I'll do my whatever. I'll wipe it down real quick, and I'll move on." And everybody respects it because it is asked. They didn't say there's no demand like, "Hey, you will wipe." No, it's like, "Hey, please be respectful to everybody and wipe down the machines." That's it. And there's a 24-hour one open where they don't have a person in there watching you. You just go in the middle of the night and you can sit down, work out by yourself, wipe down the machines, and then leave, which I think is they're respectful. People are just respectful. But we didn't crack down. I don't think our numbers are crazy. My wife works as a nurse. The hospitals around here aren't that freaking nuts. I had to call and do virtual on phone things with my VA people, which is fucking weird. I'm like, how do you have a doctor's appointment over the phone? It blows my mind. I was like, I talked to my actually 20 something. I had to actually I think like tomorrow or something like that. I'm supposed to talk to my doctor over the phone. I'm like, hey doc, I got some issues. I want you to look at them. Oh, well, we can only talk on the phone. What? Kind of weird shit is this? Now I'd rather be at the doctor's office, sitting down with the doctor, going, hey, if you don't think where would be the cleanest place to go during a pandemic? Probably a hospital, even though hospitals nasty. I hate 'em. I don't like doctors. I haven't seen a doctor in 2016. No, 2015. I think is the last time I went to a doctor's office. Oh yeah, just renew your prescription. Yeah, I had a hernia since last year, and I haven't gone to a doctor. I hate doctors, and they're like, I'm like, I go, I actually, I had a, if you know what a hernia is, I had it in my stomach where pretty much just something ripped open a little bit, and it's not sealed or all the way or something, and you're not bleeding anywhere, but I'm not in pain. Like I'm perfectly fine. If I'm not in like massive pain, I'm not going to a doctor. So I talked to my buddy who's a doc. I'm like, hey, I know I have a hernia. I could feel it. It's in like where my belly button is. You can press down. You can feel the muscle. It's the muscle. It's kind of going through the back layer or whatever. And I'm like, he's like, "Are you in pain?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, you should still go to the doctor." I'm like, "If it gets any worse, maybe I will." Oh, I've been to a chiropractor a couple like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what year it was because I threw out my hip really bad. I was in a lot of pain. And this dude literally was like, "Okay, you're gonna come in and you're gonna lay down and we're gonna take this little thing and go dink, dink, dink. Okay, we're done for the day. Have a nice time. Come back tomorrow." And they were billing me like $80 every time I walked in. What the fuck? There's nothing. Like when I was a kid, when I threw out my back and I went to a chiropractor, dude was just like, snap, 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 you're done. I'm like, oh, oh, I feel so much better. This guy was like, now we're just gonna take a little bit of here. And the VA no longer supports chiropractors because I guess a dude was accidentally killed in one. So they stopped supporting all chiropractor things. So I had to pay out of my own pocket, which is bullshit. So I went there like 3 times. I was still in pain. So I said, "Screw this." I went and got me this little electric pack from Walmart. It sends out little electric pulses into my back. And so if my back's really bad, usually it's because the muscles are pulling my back out. So I just got me one of those little shocker packs. I put it on my back for a couple hours a day, and I was fine in like 3 days. I was like, "Pff, it cost me 20 bucks at Walmart, and I was paying $80 for this guy to take a little thing and not even like fix me." He was like, "Well, we don't wanna, like, pop it in, like, completely because it might do more damage, so we're gonna slowly but surely work our way back until you feel better." I'm like, "Dude, just pop it. Just stand on my back and get it over with. Come on, I don't wanna be here every single day." But now they were milking me for money. That's what was going on. And I was like, "Yeah, I was." "Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's cool. You can watch here and see how they improve things." "Oh, that's not too bad." I gotta start doing workouts though. I hurt my back the other day because I was helping my girls build this Lego set on the ground, and I was leaning over, and I felt it, like, when you feel your back just start to go. I was like, "Oh, oh god." I was in pain, like, a couple days ago. I was like, "Oh," but I what got me was icy hots, and I stretched until it finally stopped. It was mostly muscle. I think I just pulled something in my muscle. But yeah, so it's just people are nuts. Yeah, kids do that. Yeah, I'm not as flexible as I used to be. I got this dad bod now. I gotta lose this dad bod. That's my goal this year is to lose my dad bod, get my book done, so that you guys can all enjoy my book and I can stop hurting myself by sitting on the floor. Oh, I gotta build a shelf today. My lady wants these not shelf, it's a dresser. I gotta do that here in a little bit. Start working on that before she gets home from work. Now, my wife is a, traveling nurse. She works for, like, this company where you sign up to different places, like, 3 some of them are, like, 3, 4-hour drives, but she gets paid a whole lot of money for it. But, yeah, but we have to take care of the kids, we have to take care of the house and all that stuff, so, fortunately and I'm not working because, somebody needed to watch the kids while she was traveling to her jobs, and the people who, like, wanna watch our kids wanted ridiculous amounts price, like, it would take, like, almost my entire paycheck I was making at the time. I was like, why would I pay that much for you to watch the kids a couple hours a day?" Like, jeez Christ. Plus, we don't even know who you are. And so, my wife and I talked about it, so I decided and she said, "I know you like your job." 'Cause I liked my job. I was security for a company here in Joplin, and my boss was great. The hours were pretty good. I was stuck in a tiny little box. If you guys don't remember my earlier videos, you can see where I'm like in this little fucking small little space all by myself in the middle of freaking in the middle of, company. I didn't talk to anybody like all day. Kind of sucked. But, whatever. As long as I was doing my job, they didn't care what I did in there. But those well, they cared. I wasn't gonna do something creepy. But, my job was pretty much check in and check out trucks and inspect them, make sure that they're not, carrying something they're not supposed to. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't hard, but it was just a simple, not high paying job. It was actually a pretty low paying job. Because all I know is security. Because went to the police academy when I got out. Didn't become a cop because I have too many anger issues. Even I admitted that. And they thought I would make a great cop, and I was like, no, I wouldn't, because in this age, people are too sensitive. You run from me, I may shoot you in the knee. Because I ain't chasing you. And they're like, yeah, maybe you don't want to. But I was like, it's fine. I enjoyed the police academy. It was a great experience. Learning all this stuff they taught me, it was great. But at the end of the day, I was just like, no, not for me. So I worked for security for a while. Now I'm here home doing this with all of you. I write my book and taking care of my family. So can't complain. It's a lot different than I'm used to. But we're just building it one at a time. And I'm glad for all of you guys to support me here on the channel. Subscribe. Oh yeah, you mean when I not being a cop? Yeah, I was a Marine for too long to be a cop. Marine Corps is a lot different than being a cop. Bad guys are bad guys, and you buck up to me in the Marine Corps, I'm gonna put a bullet through your face. Because I'm sorry, I'm not fucking dying from some shithole fucking dude in the middle of nowhere. And I had the same thing. I sat down at the county. I was like, I ain't dying from no shit back on the street. I have kids at home. I have a wife to feed. I have a wife and I have kids. You think I'm gonna die in some gutter? You're nuts. And they're like, well, you sure you really want to do this? I'm like, I don't know. I graduated. I graduated, and I decided, yeah, no, I'm not risking my life. I did that. I did that for the American people already once, and right now I don't think a lot of them showing that they may not deserve it anymore. So yeah, I'm not gonna not go home to my family because some dirtbag, and then or go home barely, because I've seen that happen. Where if you guys don't remember the little Michael Brown or whatever incident where the guy tried to almost remove the cop's arm, or like literally almost lost the use of his hand, killed the guy in a struggle, and they pretty much put him to the pasture. They tore apart his entire life. Some do, yeah. God, there was man, I got out as an infantry guy and I went straight into college, not thinking. And if I had done smart, I should have joined, private sector. I would have made boku load of money, and all I had to do was sit on an oil rig for so many months at a time and just make bank. I didn't realize that at the time, but I was out too long when I tried to get into that. And they're like, "How long have you been out of the military?" I was like, "Well, about 6 years." And they're like, "Yeah, no, we want people who just come out." I'm like, "Damn it!" Plus, you have to live on a coast. I live in the middle of the country. Where there's really not much here. I've been trying to convince Gary he should move to Missouri. Neurotic. I'm like, hey man, you should move to Missouri, man. You need to. You want to be free. You have plenty of land. It's cheap too compared to California. I knew a guy. I do. I know a guy who lives near us who actually owns his own horse ranch now. And when he lived in California, he owned like a 3 or 4 um apartment, 3 to 4 room apartment down by the, like, I guess on the beach. Was paying out the ass. But when he moved to Missouri, he had enough money from the same thing he was doing there, paying so much more that he was able to buy a ranch in Missouri. And he lives in a freaking huge house. He feels like he's a king. He's like, dude, I own all this land. I couldn't do this shit in California. Oh, maybe too cold for him. Missouri is. We're not really cold or hot. We literally have seasons in the same day. Like, it'll be like morning will be cold, and the afternoon will be like really warm, like 60s, 70s. And we're like, yeah. And then like evening, it just goes drops. And it's like back and forth, back. It could rain, snow, and heat wave probably in the same day. Minnesota's like that too. Yeah. Yeah. We're like right in the middle of tornado belt. So we have tons of like smaller tornadoes like every year. I mean, how many times I've seen tornadoes. And if you guys don't remember Joplin, it's famous because in 2011, they had this massive E5 tornado go right through Joplin on graduation day. It was horrible, destroyed most of the town. It leveled like 50% of the city. It was bad, and they had to rebuild like all of it. The high school I went to completely demolished. They had to rebuild it, so I don't get to go back to my high school and be like, "Oh yeah." Oh no, no man, Ruth Green, you're fine, man. Don't worry about it. Just having fun, talking about stupid people and being stupid. We remove that now. But yeah, uh, it just annoyed me. This whole situation annoys me. They shouldn't be going out of their minds. Just it's yes, I voted for Trump. He lost. Okay. Well, it smelled dirty. I think they should have had an investigation look into it. And if they got evidence proving either way, it should have been brought to light. It's all always in every situation. If there's any like if you got those people who call and say that person or that person raped me. Okay, well then bring evidence. Show me the evidence. I want to see evidence. Either way, I just want to see the evidence so we can work out what's right, what's not. Good luck for you too. Right? Yeah. They would send me to a camp just because I'm a free thinker. That's really it. I I'm not either side. I'm not, you know, most of us aren't. You really think about a lot of America, except for the crazed fringes on the very, corners, are mostly the middle. We're just like some believe in certain things, like, there's issues like gay marriages, you know, abortions, stuff like that, that are like certain sides take certain issues with. Me, I am when it comes to like gay marriage, I'm for it. I don't believe that you should be able to go into a church and demand the church do it though. I believe, if you want to get married, respect the religion. If you're going to go to a church, make sure you respect their religion. If you're not going to go to a Catholic church, demand that they marry you, and they're like, okay, well then go to the mosque down the street and demand them the same thing. Like, if you're going to be doing it, you got to make sure all people are fair. Right? Yeah, it will be the first ones off the camp. Yeah, yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't even go into a church and demand. They were like, okay, can you afford it? Can you afford this place? Here's our schedules. I when I got married with my wife, we were looking at different churches, and most of them were just taken. We were like, okay, this place looks nice. Oh, they're freaking booked to next year. Well, shit. Oh, what about this place? Well, we don't just get to go in and be like, hey, we want married now, and you're going to do it, or we're going to be on the national news telling you how you hate gays, like that. I really felt bad for that one, you know, baker who they try to destroy because he's like, hey, I don't do that. Like, I'll bake you a cake, but I'm not putting all this stuff on it. And they're like, "No, no, you will." And he's like, "No, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. And there's 100 bakers in town that you can go to that will do it. I just won't. Here's a couple bakers you can go see that will do your work just as well as I can." And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna sacrifice you." And it was like, the whole thing was a setup. It was from the very beginning. It was a setup. They knew what was going to happen when they walked in there, and they did it on purpose so they can get some clout. And that's what sucks because trust me, there are a lot of gay people out there who are like, "That's bullshit. You should not have done that to those guys. You should have just went to a different baker." I'd have done the same thing if I walked in, they're like, "We don't serve white people here." I'd be like, "Well, okay." uh, whatever, and I would have gone to a like, what the fuck? If I went to a baker and I was standing there, a black man walked in and the dude's like, "Hey, we don't serve your kind here." I'd be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, dude? The dude's got money." Like, okay, he'll take his business elsewhere. So will I, because that's dumb. That's like the whole thing where they want to silence all these people who are actual racists. I'm like, no, let them be out there. Let the racist be on social media. Let them expose themselves so you know who they are and you don't have to do business with them. But when you keep everybody silent, then you don't trust anybody for being racist because you're like, well, you claimed I was a racist. You claimed they were racist. You claim that guy who is a black guy is a racist because he doesn't follow your ideology. What? Yeah, people are crazy and hate. Yeah, yeah, it was nuts. The guy didn't deserve that. They tried to shut down his business. He fought, he won, and then they tried to shut him down again. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, just leave the fucking dude alone. And he should have just. If I was him, I'd just be like, fuck you guys. I'm done. I'm moving my company somewhere else. Because you guys, are fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna take my business elsewhere. Fortunately, not everybody can do that. Not everybody, can afford to just pick up in their lives and move. I understand that. I can't just move out of Missouri. Plus, my wife will never leave this area ever. That was like the agreement when we got together. She's like, my kids are going to the same school that I went to when I grew up. And tell they're out of school, we ain't moving. And I was like, but if we moved to Kansas City, we'd have a lot better opportunities. She's like, no, my brother lives there. No. Yeah, the point is to keep people in a potential state of defense. Yeah, yeah. Social media, they love that. Social media, especially because it brings drama. Drama brings money, and people easier to control. And it's dumb. Yeah, I'm stuck here probably the rest of my life, but it's okay. I don't mind this area. There's some good people here. Yeah, the job markets aren't the best, and my wife has to travel like crazy, but she doesn't mind it. Or at least she tells me she doesn't mind it, but she's get paid a lot, so she doesn't mind that. I was but she that's her thing. I'm like, okay. She worked her ass off to get through nursing school. Man, stress level my wife had to go through. I was like, only me. I went 6 years of college and I realized how worthless that was to me. So I was like, yeah, my problem was I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I went to college, free agent, looking around. Thought I was going to do one thing, then I tried another thing, and then I tried another thing, and I tried another thing. 6 years later, I still didn't have enough credits to graduate. And I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck I want to do. I tried doing teaching at one point. So I did class of being a teacher, and I realized, no, I don't like how they're just like, I don't like the brainwashing crap. Like, I would rather teach, you know, actual teaching. And then I tried criminal justice for a long time. And then I was like, I should just go to the academy. I went to the academy, and then I already said what happened there was like, you know what? I always went to do welding. I was going to go to a trade school to do welding, and then the whole COVID thing happened, or a thing that shall not be named. That happened, and yeah, that didn't happen, which kind of sucks 'cause you can make good money as a welder. Mostly you have to travel though to really make a lot of money. But I was like, whatever. If I like it, I might as well try. I like working with my hands. I'm not a book guy. I can't sit there all day looking at papers. I would go insane. Like my brother can do that. He works a big company and he does the paperwork and all kinds of stuff all day long. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. He makes good money, but I'm like, I can't do it. I lose my mind. Like I need to work, do something with my hands, accomplish something, build something, do something. I feel like I've done something. If I'm sitting there all day doing the same kind of paperwork, filling out, I would work in a cubicle. Ugh. Nope, not for me. Couldn't do it. I would go insane. I would go nuts. Ugh, I don't know how people do it. Yeah, so if you're like that, trade school, definitely think about doing buy welding stuff and teach yourself. Yeah, well, a lot of places around here, you had to still go to trade school because you have to get licensed. You have to go so long at as a welding student or whatever till you can take the test, get your license. And the person was doing it for like 50 years. He'd been a welder for like 50 years. He taught the class. I met the guy. He was really cool. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this or not. I'm going to try. I'm good with my hands. That's all I know how to do. He's like, hey, come by when this, and then the freaking thing hit, and I was just like, "Mm, yeah, yeah, it kind of sucks." I have some stuff from my dad. He welded when I was a kid. We welded a go kart together. It was so terrible looking, but we did. We got a bunch of black metal bar, like big square things. And we welded this whole go kart together. Put on like a mower engine and welded that to it, and it went. It worked for a little while, and I think my dad finally couldn't take it with us when we were moving, so he had to sell it. Got a couple $100 off of it, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we welded that thing, and I was all over the place when I was a kid. He'd be like, "Now do straight lines," and when I take the mask off and you see, I'm like, I went to trade school for high school. I had my plumbing license at 20. Oh, nice. I always wanted to be in tech, but plumbing made good money. Yeah, good money. Yep. But I hated my hours. I joined the army at 30 to escape plumbing. Luckily, yeah, hey man, that's not too bad. I joined at 19. My situation was I used to live in a town called Canton, Illinois. A very small town. When I was in high, my I think from like sixth grade to my sophomore year, and I had like really good best friend there. And I hated when I moved down to Missouri, and I finished out high school here. I went to a kind of a tech. They have a thing called, or your senior year, if you have all your credits, you can take a tech school for a couple hours. I did graphic design for a little bit, and only got one semester of that, so like 1 year. So I didn't get the license or anything. And then as soon as I graduated, the place I was working for was called A&W Root Beer, the little fast food restaurant, closed down here. Not really surprising. And as soon as they closed down, I said, "You know what? Since my job is closing anyways, I'm graduated from high school. I am moving out on my own." So I talked to my best friend up in Illinois, and he's like, "Hey, dude, we'll join the Air Force again. We watch too much Top Gun. We want to be fighter pilots," which I think is funny because we were going to join the Air Force and be fighter pilots, but Top Gun, they're Navy. Somehow we didn't put that two to two. I don't know. So we had this big plan. We're going to be fighter pilots together. We're going to go through boot camp together. We're going to join the Air Force. We're going to kick ass, and we're going to be best friends. We're going to go through the entire thing together, and we're going to be like Top Gun guys. And then I got up there. I'm looking because Canton was a dying, like they were a factory town. The factory burned down, so everybody had to like travel to work, and the town was just collapsing in on itself at the time. And you can't find work. Nobody could find work. And I was up there. I think I saved up like 2 grand when I moved up there, and it just slowly chipped away until I had nothing left. And then I was living with him and his mom until we were supposed to join, but he was getting his welding license. And he's like, "Hey, dude, if I wait another year, I can get my welding license. So I'm gonna wait." I was like, "Really?" Like, dude, I can't find a job. Like, he already had a job, and I was like, "I need a job." And he's like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you, man." So I kept looking, and eventually his mom's like, "You're not making any money. You can't find a job. Your money's run down. I'm gonna have to kick you out." So she was about to kick me out. So I was like, "Fuck, what do I do?" And then I got a call from the Marine Corps. They said, "Hey, we'd like to come down and talk to you about the Marine Corps." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Come on down. Let's talk. Let's see what happens." Marine Corps recruiter came to the house, sat down with me, was explaining all the stuff I could do in the Marine Corps, blah blah blah. You know what they do. And I was like, "Well, it's either this or I go back home to Missouri to my parents like a bitch." And I didn't want to do that. Like, I didn't want to go crawl back to my own parents and admit that I failed my first time out. world? That was weird. So I decided I talked to my best friend. I was like, dude, I can't wait another year. Either we go now or I'm joining the Marine Corps. I don't have a choice. Like, I need to get out of here. I need a job. I need to not live off your mom, who's about to kick me out, by the way. So I'm about to be homeless. And he's like, well, dude, I'm gonna stay welding. I don't know if I want to join anymore. He was pure American Indian. This dude was like 100% American Indian. This guy got free college if he wanted to. I was like, dude, if you're not going to join the military, go to college. He's like, no, I just want to be a welder. I don't know what happened. We kind of lost touch halfway through my military service, so it kind of sucked. His name was Tony. He was my best friend, dude. We were like my brother from another mother. Like we were always hanging out together. It was Dude was awesome. Yeah, ambulance flew by. Anyways, um, so what happened was I ended up I talked to my recruiter. The mom kicked me out. My recruiter goes, "Hey, let me talk to some of the other recruits and see if any of their parents." Wait, here he goes. Plenty of employment in Massachusetts, they hold your professional license, driver license hostage to force compliance for taxes and vaccine. What? Wow, that's nuts, dude. That's stupidly nuts. Wow. Oh my god. Yeah, so he talked to some of the other recruits that were going to join. They told me that I couldn't join right away. I needed to train some more because I was a little bit overweight, and I needed to get myself in shape. And the deployment wasn't until another month. Like I wouldn't go to boot camp. I wouldn't be shipped out for until December. And I think it was like October. Like what was it? I think I November or I think it was October when he told me this. I was like, well, I'm out. My his mom was like, get your shit, and get out. And he talked to some of the other recruits, and I had a month left. So three of the recruits said, hey, you could stay on our couch for a week. So I had no money to my name, bouncing from couch to couch until I went to boot camp. My parents had no idea either because I never told them. I didn't want to tell them because I know my mom. She would have drove all the way up there, picked my ass up, made me go, and it wouldn't let me go because yeah, like it was pretty funny. But so I lived off couch to couch. I was eating like crackers for like 3 weeks while training to get ready for the Marine Corps. Got shipped in December of 2006. I was actually shipped out, and I stayed till 2010. So I did my 4 years. But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's stupid. That's dumb. That sucks, man. I don't know how it is here. My security, we had to get security license when we worked here, but that the companies usually paid for it, and you get it pretty much is like, hey, you're unarmed security. You have to get certain license for armed. I think I always think it's dumb. It's like this is a government facility. Why am I unarmed security? Oh, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, that was my trip to the Marine Corps. So I know what it's like to be nothing. Literally not know where I'm gonna get my next meal, sneaking crackers from their shell because I didn't want to eat any other food. I wouldn't. I turned down their dinners. Like if I was at their house and they're like, "Hey, it's dinner time. Would you like to eat?" I'd be like, "No, I don't want to. I'm already inconveniencing you by sleeping on your couch. I do not want to take your food. You're making just enough to feed you and your family. I don't want to be that jerk who's like, smooching off you. I have enough money left to just buy boxes of crackers or, whatever I can and eat off that. I was. I was living on saltine crackers for a while and water, but I needed to lose weight anyway. So then I joined the Marine Corps and they put me on half rations and I got nothing but rice and fish for like 3 months. So I came out of the Marine Corps like 40 pounds underweight. Yeah, I was super thin when I got out of the boot camp. But yeah, I wish I was still that shape though. But, it was a good life lesson. It taught me stuff. It helped me learn. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to go into that point where it's like, "Hey," you know, "it's good. It's a good experience." You know, I haven't talked to him in years, though, my best friend. Oh my god. Been I think I left for Iraq. No, I saw him right before I left for Afghanistan, and I haven't seen him and he's never on social media, so I can never find him. Oh, he better went to college. I'll beat his ass if I ever find him, and he's like, "I never went to college, I did drugs," and then I would let's see. You had to ask a board's permission to use the term certified interior designer. What? That's fucking crazy. What do you think? What do you think of my office? You think it's cool? You're an interior designer. I'm not. I just threw stuff together hoping it would work. And unfortunately, those little lights that I got down there suck up batteries. Crazy. But I like the lights I have up there. I really like those. I'm glad I found those at Walmart. But yeah. I have another poster I gotta add up there too soon. I gotta get my Shadow Demon for my book up there. I gotta get the cover done. I gotta get that guy. I gotta pay that guy so I can do the cover. Oh, you could use some help. The lights are cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's a start. It's something. Before I was just like when I tried to do the garage thing. Unfortunately, the power wasn't strong enough to do it in the garage. I had a big idea for the garage, but shit happens. But yeah, eventually, when we get a bigger house, I won't have to be sitting in my living room doing this. I will actually get an office space, a room. That I can't wait for because then I can put like bookshelves all across the thing. 'Cause I have tons of books that I got to put up. I want to have lights all over I want to have lights. So it's like, I like the blue glow. I don't know why, because usually I like green, but the green just doesn't look as good as the blue. Like here, let me see if I got my remote. Here it is. Give me a second. Oh, I boomered it. I boomered it. But yeah, no, I was just showing off the lights. I like the blue more than anything else. Totally boomered that. I pulled a Gary if only had like, Odin here. He'd go, oh man, he doesn't know how to do stuff. But yeah, I was just saying, I was like, I got this pen here, right here. I'm gonna also get a couple more pens I want to put up on here, and some other stuff I want to get. There's like little PVC collectibles. Dude, like earlier, I really fucked up when I first started because I was going like 6 minutes in, and I realized the program I had my mic plugged into was messed up. So I was muted like for like 6 full minutes at the beginning. Oh, I boomed the hell out of that. So yeah, but I do enjoy this mic, and now I can actually like do little programs. Let's see, where is it? Where I can like, I'm working on uh, because I was thought about doing a voice readout for the first three chapters of my book, where I do like a bit like three videos, chapter one, chapter two, chapter three. The epic rant brought to you by Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. Yeah. And so I got this little sound bar online. You can here, I'll show you what it is real quick. This is it right here. So it's voice mod, and you can like do different things. You got chipmunk and all kinds of stuff. And I found I had one I was trying to do for my Star Wars Dark Side playthrough. I was gonna sound like a Darth Vader or something, but it didn't. Was too robotic. I gotta work with this more. I think it's this one. Hello, welcome to the dark side. Yeah, that was a voice I tried to do for that, but I don't know. It just you gotta stay in character the whole time, or it just sounds really robotic, really bad. I was trying to do this is the storytell. I'm trying to figure out which. It's got a little music in the background. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. But you can hear the music in the background. I was going to do this voice for the book narrating, but I just was like, I don't know. So I decided to go with this one as my book narrator voice. But I was going to do like characters. I was going to try to mess with it and try to like make character voices that would sound like the characters from my book and like read off their lines. Like if you read off the lines and just not have me in the picture so that you only see the book or the paper, the pages. But in the end, I can't do it on this program. Like if I try to change it to a lady's voice, it sounds really robotic and really bad, and it just doesn't sound good. But I'm hoping that I can just make one overall narrated voice, like a deeper, narrated voice that sounds really clear, really. So I can just read off the first three chapters of my book. It's probably how I'm going to do it. So yeah, I'm working on that right now. If I could get the right voice that I'm really happy with, um, that's how I'll do that. But yeah. Is StreamYard the only program that puts chat bubbles at the bottom screen? I don't really know. See, I've only used StreamYard. Still need to learn how to do Streamlabs because a lot of people say it's better for gaming. So when I do my gaming, I'm just sharing my screen from StreamYards. And a lot of people say it's not as good as Streamlabs. I gotta learn how to use Streamlabs. My brother knows how to use Streamlabs. I keep telling him like one of these days, me and you gotta sit down and you gotta teach me how to use this thing. I don't know. I got Discord. I tried using Discord not too long ago and I couldn't get it to work. I think it was I don't know. But yeah, like so far, like I know that StreamYard is pretty easy, and I like how you can do like add little videos like this one.
Why is the rum always gone? Oh. That one.
I got that clip so that I could do so I'm doing drinking on stream and I run out of rum or something, I could do that and be like, oh, I'm out of rum. Get that. I got a couple other videos. My soundboard also has sound effects. Um, like, you know, wow. Clown. I like that one because of Az. Az was such a genius. The dude's freaking great. I still think that if the Phantom Menace creator did an audio read of the classics like 1984, get Dewcock to voice the. Yeah, yeah. Winston, I don't know. Doomcock is great. I do like his whole character. He does a great job staying in character, wearing a helmet with a voice changer. I think it's freaking hilarious. I love the dude, and I love how he's got that little uh freaking what's his name? Oh God, his little can't think of it right now. It's skipping. Is I'm missing it. Oh, what is it? What's it called? Harvey. Yeah, Harvey. He's got a little Harvey guy, and I was freaking the little skits he does with Harvey is freaking genius. The dude is a great entertainer. Him and Az. I love Gary, but Az is a true entertainer. He really is. That dude is born entertainer, and watching his streams are always fun. They really are, and every Friday Night Tights wouldn't be the same without him. It just wouldn't. The dude, bring Harvey. Yeah, see, yeah, thanks. Yeah, Harvey. Yeah, his little stuffy guy that that if he releases will destroy all life on it. Yeah, Az is funny as hell. He really the dude should be he he's great on YouTube, but I think the dude would make a killing in as actual comedian. I think if you put Az in front of a crowd, he would do fine. Well, I don't know. He may be I don't know if he likes being in front of people. He may not. But dude is funny as hell. The dude he would be like Fluffy level funny. And I love Fluffy. It was hilarious. And yeah, dude is a born comedian. Like, just, oh my gosh, guy kills it. I wish I could entertain like that, right? I try. I'm learning. I'm still new. So, but yeah, actually, speech classes were the easiest classes I've ever done in my life in college. That's like one of my favorite classes. Like, you're gonna do speech today. As is a geezer. Every pub in England has an as that will throw back and talk. Yeah, yeah, dude's great. Him and his like little British accent make it even better. It makes it so much. Oh my gosh. I love Az. All of them. I love all of them. Like, they're such a great group on Friday Night Tights. It's like the thing to wait for in the week. I love just waiting for Friday Night Tights every week and just laughing my ass off nonstop. Last week was great. Oh my god, his little doll thing. I was in tears. I was crying so hard. I thought I was gonna die. Oh, oh my god. That he came out of nowhere. He's like, "Dude." Uh, It was even greater that he didn't have the actual characters they were talking about. That made it so much funnier. 'Cause he had, like, Doctor Who, and it was like, oh, I'm still laughing. Like, I'm thinking back on it, and uh, but yeah. But I gotta get going here in a minute. It's been fun hanging with you guys. I've been going almost an hour and a half. I didn't think I was gonna go this long. I was just gonna talk real quick about that crap that's going on, but, we still got each other. No matter what happens out there, remember that we have this community, at least for now, until they ban us from YouTube and everything else. Odin is a bit of a dimwit. I enjoy Odin. I really think he's kind of funny especially when Gary screws up and he's like, he does his old man voice. It's fun. But yeah, thank you, Roland Ginger Raven, for coming. Ethiopian, Roof Korean, all of you guys who showed up here in the chat. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please. I hope I've earned your subscription. I had a great time last night with 32 flavors of, I think it's 32 flavors. Yeah. And, him and his channel, we had a great time talking last night. We were a long time talking. Like, I thought it was only gonna last, like, an hour, and we actually almost went 3 hours, because we just had fun. We were going on all kinds of topics. That's what's great about this community. We could just sit down. We could have one topic we're supposed to talk about, and then we go on a tangent, like, 100 different topics because we were just having fun hanging out, talking, drinking some Joe or coffee, whatever you guys wanna call it. I know it's Star Wars Cup, but it's supposed to light up when it gets hot. I love Star Wars. I just don't like the new shit. But whatever. But thank you all for coming. Please be safe, be healthy, be good to each other. And I'll see you next time. And a final farewell from our favorite.
How much C4 is this gonna take?
It's no more than 20 ounces.
What? Oh, I hate the metric system. How much in American?
Let's see. You carry the 7.
Dude, fuck math. Just use all of it.
Oh, yeah!
What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.